Welcome everyone to our 13th annual Ash Wednesday gathering on behalf of immigrants and refugees and asylees, people who are in detention, those desperate to find a better life for their families and safety. The scriptures tell us that our God is compassionate and that we, his people, are to be compassionate as our God is compassionate. So let our gathering today be a reminder that each of us is called upon to be compassionate as God is compassionate, and to love and embrace one another, to welcome one another, to remember refugees throughout the world. You know, our focus now is on the Ukraine, but we know Afghanistan, Syria, Yemen, many countries throughout our world have thousands of people seeking safety and refuge. Let us welcome
them. Yeah, thank you, Jean. By the way, I'm Kathy O'Leary. I'm the regional coordinator for Corpus Christi here in New Jersey. And thank you everyone for coming here again this year. This is the first year that we actually have some good news, which I'll let Lorna and Ruby share that with you. But we need to remember that we still have friends in detention, whether they're in New Jersey or they're being taken from New Jersey and sent elsewhere. They're still our friends, and we still need to support them, and we still need to work to end detention. And while we are focusing, our country is focusing so much, and rightly so, on the crisis in Ukraine right now, and the human rights abuses that are taking place, we really should also remember that while Poland and Slovakia, Moldova, and all of these countries are now opening their borders and embracing the Ukrainian refugees, it was just November and December we were reading reports in the New York Times about Syrian refugees who were being forced to live in the winter in a forest with limited shelter. And the aid agencies were even being prevented from going in and providing adequate food and shelter and medical care for the people who are simply waiting to cross into safety. So as we remember and we honor and we are excited about the embrace of the Ukrainian refugees now, there's always more work to do. So, I would like to start with a land recognition. This land belongs to no one but the Creator. This land was here before us and will endure after we are gone. Let us honor those who lived here before by walking gently upon this precious earth, taking only what we need, leaving little waste, nurturing the soil, and revitalizing the land to sustain future generations. The land on which we gather today is the ancestral land of the Tappan and the Wequesgeek tribes of the Lenape people. We acknowledge their connection to this place, the many generations who were stewards of this land. We hear the echoes of their prayers to the great Mother Earth and seek to learn from their wisdom. We acknowledge the history of pain, disease, and bloodshed the native peoples endured when the ancestors of people who call themselves white colonized and claimed this land for their own. Though we can't reverse the course of history, we commit to not ignoring it. We will look history in the eye and lament its painful truth. And that part of that truth is that in 1642, tribal warfare drove members of the Tappan and Wequesgeek tribes of the Lenape people to seek protection and build camps in Communipaw village, a Dutch community and part of the Pavonia colony. This stretched from the Hudson shoreline, where we stand now, to Bergen Hill. Not only did the Lenape suffer from being refugees in the tribal war against a better equipped enemy, but from European diseases and livestock encroachment onto their land. On February 25th, 1643, the director of New Netherland crossed the Hudson River from his headquarters in New Amsterdam with a sergeant and 80 soldiers and stormed the Native American camps in Pavonia. The Dutch force used military action indiscriminately, killing all women and children in what is known as the Pavonia Massacre. It is estimated that 120 people were slaughtered by the Dutch. Today, let us honor the memory of those who died on this land. Let us recognize those who lost their sovereignty. Let us honor the Native people who to this day